Hi, my name is Yope. I'm with the Smarter Parenting team. I wanted to go over something today that I think a lot of parents have questions about, namely chore charts and how to make them work. So chore charts, I think parents don't really take advantage of chore charts, and over the last couple of years I've seen a decline actually. People are using their phones and mobile devices to keep track of chores. But there's something to be said about having a printed out chore chart in your home. Now, one of the big misconceptions is that it only lists jobs, things that a child should be doing, like chores. But chore charts are far more effective if you look at chore charts as a way to shape behavior. Okay, so what you want to do with a chore chart is you want to focus on what is the behavior you want your child to eventually use as an everyday thing. You want to create a habit. So chore charts, in the rotation of using them, you should actually go through multiple chore charts over the course of a year with your child, because what you're doing is you're shaping a behavior. You're trying to get your child to do something and for it to become a habit. Once it becomes a habit, then you get rid of that chore or that item and you replace it with something else. So one of the things that are very helpful for parents in using a chore chart is to recognize what they want the child to do behavior-wise first. Don't limit your chore chart to just dishes, picking up the dog poop, doing laundry. I mean, those are great things that you want your child to eventually learn. But you can use other things like brushing your teeth, taking a shower. I know especially with teenagers, sometimes they don't want to do that stuff. But you can use that on your chore chart. Now, it may sound ridiculous to do that, but again, a chore chart is meant to create a child's awareness of a behavior that you want to have them eventually do on their own. Okay. Another thing that parents struggle with in using a chore chart is that it becomes cumbersome, and it's something that they feel like they have to keep track of. That's not the case. Okay. When you're creating a chore chart, you want to list things that are easy for your child to do initially, that they will naturally do mostly on their own. They may struggle a little bit, but you want them to prepare them for success. So you want to choose something that they can do, but they struggle doing consistently over time. Okay, and underneath all of that, the very last chore, or the thing that you can list on the chore chart, is that they have to come and report it to you. You can choose the frequency, but that can be a chore too, having them come back and report. So, for example, with my child, I would have her come back and report every day, and that was part of the chore. So I didn't have to go and look at it and remind her about everything she needed to do. She actually would come to me at the end of the day and say, this is what I did, blah, 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 and I would mark it down as being completed successfully. So integrating some of these things into a chore chart are super helpful. Now, I would actually beg for parents to print out chore charts, have them visible, and have them in multiple places. The idea that your child is going to remember this and what they need to do is highly unlikely. Having something that's visible where they can see it frequently will help them remember what they need to do. It actually helps create this idea in their head that I have things that I need to accomplish. For us, we have it in multiple places, and don't put it in just one place. So we have it in the kitchen, we have it in her room, we also have it in her bathroom. So she has the bathroom that she uses, we actually stick to the expectations. It's the very same chore chart, but it reminds her, when she's up and she's getting ready, the chore chart is right there. When she goes to the kitchen to grab something to eat, the chore chart is right there. So we have it in multiple places to help create this idea that she realizes there are things that she needs to do and to complete. So these are just some helpful tips for parents. But again, I would caution parents to not look at chore charts as simply just for chores. A really effective parent will use a chore chart as a way to help shape behavior over time. So for my daughter, we initially started with a behavior that we wanted her to have. And that actually took maybe 3 or 4 months. And there was another behavior that actually took longer, so seven months. And it took a while for her to consistently do it on her own. But as soon as she was able to finish the one item, we actually replaced that with something else. And we continued with the same one that she needed for 7 months. So practicing the piano on her own, it took her 3 months, 4 months to do that on her own. And once she was done with that, we removed that and we replaced it with being consistent about picking up after the dogs, because we have 2 dogs. So we replaced that one with that one while she was still working on the one that she still hadn't mastered. Okay? And you can consistently do this. You can change it up. Feel free to change it up and work through it that way. One of the most effective things, though, that a parent can use a chore chart for is helping your children understand how contracts work. So a chore chart really is a contract between you and your child. It helps them be responsible for what they need to do, but it also helps you establish this relationship with your child where they can expect something back from you. Now, the biggest question that I get from parents about chore charts is, okay, after they complete a chore chart, what is appropriate as far as rewards? Okay, you can go off the board with rewards as a parent. I highly suggest that you do not do that. What you want to do is make the reward equal to the task that they've been able to accomplish, okay? And you want to make it meaningful for them. There is another series where we talk about how to make consequences and rewards effective, and you may want to revisit that one. That would be a good one to revisit to see. But you want to make it equal to the task, and you want to make it meaningful for your child. Okay, money isn't always the best reward for children, especially younger children. Money really doesn't have value to them. So for some children, having their favorite meal is something that's helpful, or having a treat that they really like is a good reward. And you don't want to do this every day. You want to break it up. So again, you want to set your child up for success. If it's a task that's super difficult for them to do initially, then you want to set a reward that is equal to what they are able to do. If your child is able to accomplish the goal and move on to a different goal or a different chore, you want to be able to reward them for that. So it reinforces that behavior, and it continually becomes a habit for them. Making the bed, for example, is one. You don't want to give $10 every time they make a bed. That would not be appropriate, right? So determining what is meaningful to your child when you're trying to establish this reward will be helpful for you as a parent. And just being sure that you don't go overboard. Parents go overboard all the time with rewards, and doing that only sets you up for failure. You do want to establish the reward, though, on the contract, on the chore chart. Okay, so be sure that you list down, this is the reward that you're going to receive if you're able to do this. And don't do it for every day. You can do it for every other day, or you can do it for a week if you're able to do this, or if you're able to do this for a month. One thing I do recommend is, if you are doing that, is that you make it, the time is appropriate for what the child is doing. Okay, so setting a reward that's like 3 months away may not be motivating for your child. Doing something that may be for a week that they can do, that's a little more motivating. If you have a child that really struggles, you can do something daily. So every day they can get some type of reward. But what you're doing is trying to build up towards success and towards them using this new behavior as a habit. So those are some helpful tips on how to make a chore chart helpful. You can actually download various chore charts on the Smarter Parenting website. We have a lot that you can choose from, different styles. You can look for it on the Smarter Parenting website, and you can find multiple chore charts that will be helpful for you and your family. You can also choose one that your child may like or enjoy based on the design. We have dinosaurs, we have princesses, we have all sorts of chore charts that are available. And you can use chore charts actually for children who are very, very young, and you can use stickers to mark that they've been able to do that, and they can put the stickers on there. You can mark it with an X. And again, these need to be more fluid. You're creating new behaviors in your children and creating habits, and that's the purpose of having chore charts. Don't limit it to just chores. You can do anything you want with it, so be flexible and use what's best in helping your child progress and be successful. So you can use it from young children all the way up to teenagers. I've seen parents use it up to 16, 17-year-olds. And of course, it's going to change and evolve as they get older. So be flexible to that change. All right. So again, you can get more information on the Smarter Parenting website. You can download chore charts, and we challenge you actually to use a chore chart with your child. Start off simple if you need to. Don't fill out the whole sheet. Just choose maybe 3 or 4 specific ones that you want to do first, behaviors that you want your child to develop into habits, and see how successful you can be in doing that. And tell us. Send us some information on how the chore charts are working, or any questions that you may have. You can contact us by emailing us through our website. So that's all I have for today. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for additional updates and suggestions on how to help you become a more successful parent.